learning new details after a horrific attack on the FMU campus.
A suspect now behind bars after sexually battering a woman. Local 10 crime specialist Bridget Matters live in Miami Gardens with the latest on the case. Bridget.
And we also learned that it was an anonymous tip from vigilant neighbors who noticed a strange man over the last few weeks, and he had matched the description of this suspect. They called it in, and police were able to make that arrest. We also learned that he was released from prison just last month. An accused rapist, Stephen Rivers, cuffed. The sexual.
Y'all see that where he tried to grab, this officer's
This month.
Tried to grab
an
a body.
Accused rapist.
Right there.
An accused rapist.
Tried to get a whole handful. So this guy's been accused of raping a FMU student on campus, and luckily someone came forward to ID him, and then officers was able to arrest him. But as you see, man, this guy's sick, because even handcuffed and shackled, he just couldn't resist himself with trying to do something else. Guess he said, man, I gotta get a last feel of a woman before I'm sitting around, in lock up with a bunch of men about to be somebody's girlfriend.
Stephen Rivers cuffed. The sexual battery suspect escorted by Miami Gardens police officers Wednesday.
Did you rape anybody else?
He was transported to a Miami-Dade County jail. Mr. Rivers, did you rape that girl? Police say Rivers jumped the Florida Memorial University campus fence and attacked a student Sunday morning. Investigators say the student was heading back to her dorm after the suspect began whistling at her near a bus stop. She told police Rivers pinned her up against a door and sexually battered her. For days, Miami Gardens police searched for Rivers, but it was a tip that led to his arrest.
The Miami Gardens Police Department was notified of a tip received by Opelika Police Department regarding a suspicious male matching the same description.
Local 10 cameras were there when Rivers was arrested blocks from campus. It didn't take long for police to confirm he was their guy.
A DNA warrant was subsequently executed, and the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office Crime Laboratory worked throughout the night to process the evidence. At approximately 7 o'clock this morning, the laboratory confirmed a positive DNA match.
The suspect is also facing a robbery by sudden snatching charge. Police say he asked the victim to use her phone. When she refused, quote, the suspect then grabbed her phone from her hand and placed it in his pocket. Students on campus relieved to hear of an arrest, but thinking of the victim.
I do feel bad for her. I said prayers for her the whole week.
And we did look into his criminal history, and it is equally disturbing. In 2024, he was also arrested for sexual battery and arrested for several counts of lewd and lascivious acts, which he did serve prison time for. Now, here at the university, they are ramping up their security measures, and we did just see them bringing in new lights in the last couple hours. For now, we're live in Miami Gardens. Bridget Matter, local.
Yeah, shouldn't have never been able to get out, and because these guys, man, they're going to constantly offend. That prison time was just a time to sit down, a time to get you, some meals, and get you a place to sleep, because it seemed like you didn't have anywhere to go. But that's no excuse, man, to jump a fence of a campus and assault, a female. Like, no excuse for it. Again, man, these guys is just going down bad. Now, this is a 30-year-old. So I've kind of been doing these videos, man, and the age ranges are all over the spectrum. They're all over the place. But, these guys, man, they're just going out real sad, going out bad. And it's just like, and get your life together, get yourself together, But for a lot of people, man, that's a lot to ask, for them to get themselves together, for them not to do egregious stuff to women. It's just a lot to ask of them, man. It's a shame, but those type of people, man, they shouldn't be able to be out in society, amongst, innocent people who end up being their victims. you know.
And now to a break in the case after a safety alert at Florida Memorial University.
Today, Miami Gardens police have identified a suspect after a woman was attacked and sexually battered on campus. Local 10's Juliana Esperto live in Miami Gardens with new details.
Yeah, we just saw the suspect, 30-year-old Stephen Rivers, get taken to TGK Correctional Facility from here at Miami Gardens Police Department. You will see that video in just a second, and what you're going to see is he is resisting police officers a little bit while he sees our news cameras there, and he stays completely silent when questioned about the attack and the sexual battery of this young woman on Florida Memorial University campus. 3 days after a young woman was sexually battered outside of her own dorm building at Florida Memorial University, Miami Gardens police says they found the suspect, 30-year-old Stephen Rivers.
Man, probably ain't no getting it together for this guy. Not with 187 in the middle of your forehead. You know, sometimes I'll just be like, sometimes I just think like, man, you know, why do people do certain things? But at the end of the day, if you ask them why they do certain things, they wouldn't know. You got 187 right in the middle of your forehead. Now, that could stand for, you know, the building that you grew up in, the block that you grew up on. It could stand for anything, but you know, let me ask y'all, if y'all seen this person coming in for a job interview, you know, basically saying they're trying to get their life together, and you seen that 187 on their forehead, and you seen that teardrop under their eye, what's the chances that you would, you know, give them an opportunity? Probably less, like probably close to none. You know, because you're gonna instantly stereotype them and profile them and assume that eventually they're gonna do something that they shouldn't be doing, and you know, it'd be hard to trust a person like that. So, you know, just craziness, man.
Stephen Rivers. Here he is, escorted to TGK Correctional Facility from the police department. You see him here struggling with officers. And Tuesday, local 10 cameras were there as officers took a man into custody who resembles the description of the attacker just a few blocks away from FMU. And Wednesday, police had an update.
Detectives conducted an extensive area canvass and surveillance operation involving an individual matching the suspect's description. A black male wearing a black hoodie and black pants.
Why'd you attack her? Why'd you do it?
Detectives say the victim was waiting at a bus stop in front of the school Sunday morning when a man began whistling at her. She tried to return to campus. That's when investigators say the suspect caught up to her, pinned her against a campus door, and battered her.
You know, students can't even sit there and wait for the bus. Can't walk on campus. You know, just it's a shame, man. What's going on out here, and you know, gotta be more careful, vigilant. You know, hey, get you some type of deterrent, some type of you know, weapon that can, you know, get people up off of you and stuff like that. Mace or stun gun, something. You know, gotta make sure you're prepared to protect yourself. You know, especially with stuff like this going on out here, and you know, and this is in Florida, so I just wanted to kind of do different videos, different states of these, you know, these reports that have been coming out in the news, again, to demonstrate that it's going on all over. So really doesn't matter where you at, you gotta stay vigilant. And hopefully the young lady is able to continue on and, you know, get to her studies and, you know, graduate, get a degree, and, you know, hopefully move on with life, and, you know, just be, you know, thankful that, you know, this person is going to be held accountable for what was happening. You know, definitely sorry that it had to happen to you. But again, this guy more than likely shouldn't have even been out to where he was able to do that. But I'm gonna close out this video. If you like my content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is Justin Paul. Peace.